I recently got hold of this little 1980s synthesizer by Casio, so I'm going to see how I can fit it into my workflow and make some music on it. I'm particularly interested in its lo-fi 8-bit sampling capabilities and want to explore the sort of results I can get with making some drum beats. I'll be using it in conjunction with the tape machine and my MPC so I can manipulate and warp the sounds. I'm going to start off by choosing a drum break to sample. I like that section of music, so we'll record it onto my 4-track, then sample it into the SK-1 to process it through the 8-bit sampling chip. You lose a sample when the Casio turns off, so it's useful to have it saved on tape. The sampling time is only about 1.4 seconds on the Casio, so to make the loop as long as possible, I'll speed up the source material to squeeze more audio into a shorter time frame. This can then be slowed down on the SK-1 later. I'll quickly show you what I mean. Let's play the record back at 45 RPM, which speeds up the audio. Record the audio at the low tape speed of my 4-track. Low recording speed means you're able to play it back faster later. And finally, play it back from the 4-track at a high speed into the SK-1. As you can hear, it's really fast and sounds a bit like chipmunks, but we can sort that out later on. So that's what it sounds like through the sampler. It acts a bit like a low-pass filter and cuts a lot of the high end out and makes things super lo-fi. I'm going to record this loop again though, so I can try and miss the horn parts. Here's my second attempt. That's better. I should be able to chop this sample up a bit more easily. If we play back the A key, that's the pitch it went into the sampler at, which is crazily fast, but down on the lowest note, which I think is at an F. Yeah, that's okay. My next step will be to get it on the MPC so I can get the start and end points of the loop a bit more accurate. So let's get this sound transferred across. I'll just enable the track ready to record. I'll save that and get the start and end points a bit tighter. I've chopped up the samples and made a program out of them, so you can see them split across the pads here. I've got 5 pads on the go. The main loop's on 1. So that's that. So I've got the kick and snare here. Then I've got a bit of a snippet of a loop here and here on the 4th pad and the 5th pad. So the next thing I'd like to do is to record a short sequence with the drum pads and then play some overdubs on top. I'm going to go into the grid mode and record a bit of a sequence. I think it would be good to add a couple of extra rhythmical elements on top of the loop, so I will sample some live acoustic drum sounds on the SK-1 using the same process as before, i.e. I'll hit the tape recorder, then the SK-1 and then onto the sampler. Here are the objects I've recorded. This is how they sound after being recorded onto tape and then sampled onto the SK-1. And now let's play them back on the MPC to add a few elements to the loop. I think it needs a bit more movement, so I'll put a phaser on that track to see if that livens things up a bit. That seems a bit better, so we'll keep it as is and move on. This whole process is a bit of an experiment for me, so I'd like to see what it sounds like if I move back into the analog domain for the final section and complete the tune on the 4-track. I'll start off by recording the sequence from the MPC as a stereo track onto the Tascam on channels 1 and 2, then overdub a keyboard part from the Casio and a live bass part. Here's what it sounds like. There we go. Not my usual kind of music, but I was kind of letting the sounds of the process lead the way here. As mentioned earlier, I've only just got this Casio keyboard. It's not an essential bit of kit by any means, but I've quite enjoyed its quirky lo-fi sounds and simple feature set so far, and look forward to playing around with it a bit more. You can also play tune samples across the keyboard, which works quite well, and it's a cheap way of getting some retro 8-bit sounds into your music. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next video.